Hey, what's up, guys? I was just about to go to bed, so you guys are gonna get a brand new YouTube video because they released new cards at very late at night. So anyway, Regidrago VSTAR, Regieleki VMAX, VSTAR V, and some other cards from Paradigm Trigger are released today. I think Paradigm Trigger is going to round out our Silver Tempest set with the cards that we've already seen so far, like Lugia and all these other pieces. I don't think there's like much else to talk about Silver Tempest, and I will be going into full Silver Tempest like coverage as soon as for myself as soon as Salt Lake City is done, because I think that I'm going to be preparing for LAIC very religiously. So I want to make sure that we can kind of jump into that mode. I mean, I'll obviously cover the results from the European regionals that happened in Warsaw and Lille, but yeah, off the bat, really like this art. I think it's sick. Also with the Aleki, I like the close up and the little like shatter. I like this a lot. I'm not a huge fan of the VMAX like art style, dynamic, whatever. I don't know, whatever. There's a Dratini, there's a Dragonair, and there's a Dragonite. I don't know. The Draco looks really cool in this art. And the Draco VSTAR. Like I said, I like the VSTARs way more than I like the VMAXs. So maybe that's just something. Yeah. So there's a Lance as well. Looks like a supporter, and I can already tell it's going to be something with Dragon types. So like a little bit of Dragon type support because of Draco, I guess. And then we have the Aleki and Draco full arts, as well as the VSTAR V. I definitely always like appreciate the background color on the full arts, because back in the Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX days, I would play the full arts to get the arts, or the color easier. So Dratini is slammed 30 times, 2 damage for each heads. I think I have to scroll back up with the energy cost. DCE, okay. Dragonair is wrap 30 for a double colorless. Flip a coin if heads. Discard an energy from your opponent's active. Surf 80, water lightning colorless. So not great attacks off the bat. Dragonite is Dragon Claw 80 for 3 colorless, and then for a lightning, a water, and a double colorless, we're doing 180 and searching our deck for 3 basic and attaching them to our Pokemon any way we like. So it's an energy accelerator on a stage 2 that seems pretty shoddy. Like, we still have RCS in format for a majority of when Dragonite will be in format. So I think RCS will never really see play because of that one reason. Like, RCS is already better. And while the attack is kind of cool, it's just pretty bad. VSTAR V, Ancient Guidance. Search your deck for up to 2 cards that evolve from item cards with Fossil and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. That's for colorless energy. So this could definitely set up some sort of like Fossil like control strategy if you want to go to that route, but you have a 2-prizer immediately already put into play. So I don't know how like reliable that actually is. And I have to look through the fossil type Pokemon or the fossil Pokemon to make sure they actually are playable in some regard. If they're just bad cards in general, I don't know if I would play them at all. Obviously, it could be ones that come out later. Tentacle Defense, 110, defending Pokemon can attack. Defending evolution Pokemon can attack during your next turn. So that's for a water double colorless. That seems pretty bad. I guess you can play this in like, again, a control strategy and just like lock them into this, but if they're not playing evolutions, it's worthless once again. So Regieleki V, switch Bolt for 30 and switch it with your with one of your bench, and then Lightning Wall 100, and then their attacks do 100 less to this Pokemon. That's actually pretty impactful. And so the first is for 30, and then water double or lightning double colorless here. So we're doing 100 and EV minus 100 back on us. If fighting weakness is not good, but I think overall that's a pretty cool like side effect, because Aleki's, I guess, so far that we've seen in the TCG have not been tanky or like bulky, for example. And I know in VGC like there's like a aspect of Aleki that is bulky, but we just never got that on our end because our Alekis have been, for some reason, have like 8 retreat cost and do only 120 damage. But here we are. Regieleki VMAX ability Transistor. The attacks of your basic lightning do plus 30 to your opponent's active. Okay, so that gives Vikavolt a little bit of a boost with like the whole lightning package. Like maybe lightning has a world where you can play like Raikou or Vikavolt or some of these cards that aren't necessarily high damage dealers with this VMAX now, because 50 going to 80 makes a pretty big difference, because with Choice Belt that goes to 110. And that's a pretty good number. And then Max Thunder Strike for 220. Let's look at the energy costs. So the ability is obviously free, but the energy cost is Lightning Double Colorless for 220, which is fine. I think that's like a fine energy cost. The free retreat is actually pretty huge as well, because I think so far all the Alekis we've had have had pretty fat retreat costs. And so it's been really kind of a problem to kind of pivot into these other attackers, like even in Reggie, like the deck Reggies. You can't really pivot freely because of how much retreat everything has. And in this deck, at least, you have the option to set up a VMAX and then kind of pivot into like Fluffy Box, maybe like play a LAKEY Fluffy Box and then play like Zekrom. I don't know what else. Zekrom, Zapdos, I think, is one of the attackers. But yeah, you have the flexibility to do stuff now in that box style deck that I think was really close to being good, like the Fluffy Box deck, but maybe it's just too much setup still. Reggie Draco is Heavenly Scream. Discard 3 from the top of your deck and attach all energy to this Pokemon. So very high rolly. And then Dragon's Laser 130 and then 30 to bench, which the costs are colorless. And then Grass Fire 130-30, that's a really steep cost for what you're doing. But again, it's on a V, so I don't think we're really caring, I guess. Like, it's not very good. And then we have Regidrago VSTAR. Dragon Dream, choose the attack from a dragon type Pokemon in your discard pile and use it as this attack. It doesn't say cost is necessary, so you just kind of copy a dragon type Pokemon in your discard, which is going to beg the question of, are there any good dragon type attacks that are really broken that you can copy and use, or is there like a toolbox deck you can play with this Dragon Dream idea? I mean, you have to check it out. I mean, I'd have to look through all the cards when this comes out to see if it's good. Legacy Star, once in your turn, you may discard the top 7, and then 2 cards from your discard pile, reveal them and put them into your hand. So you discard 7, just like mill 7 randomly, and then say, okay, these 2 cards are coming back to my hand. That seems interesting, because it'll help you accelerate your dragon strategy, but you want to get cards back maybe, I don't know. But it's interesting, it's different. And the energy cost is a Grass Fire. I thought it would be Grass Fire, yeah. Interesting, I don't know. This seems like a card that I could see being really good if there are good dragon type Pokemon, and you can build a deck that's kind of just like turbo aggro and pitches stuff into the discard. But obviously the Draco doesn't really have a real attack to stand on its own. So let's say you have to play a thick Reggie Draco line and you pitch another Draco VSTAR, like that guy doesn't do anything for you in the long run. So you have to kind of look at all the dragon type Pokemon and see if there's anything that actually makes sense to play in this capacity. And then last but not least, Lance, search your deck for up to 3 dragon type Pokemon and put them into your hand. Again, this is a very obvious synergy card for the Regidrago deck. But the question is, are there any dragon type Pokemon that are even worth like making this strategy work? And that's kind of on the people to try out, look at, see. Like, I guess Giratina is one where like Giratina VSTAR is a really easy one to make work. And you would, put the cards in the Lost Zone and go from there. Like, you play like Lost Zone Engine Regidrago, but Lost Zone Engine Regidrago wouldn't put cards in the discard if you put them in the Lost Zone, which is not something you want, obviously. And yeah, so this is kind of the new cards I think coming out. I think out of all of these, I like the LAKEY a lot. I think this card can be very good in the right environment. I don't know what the meta is going to look like when these all come out, obviously, but with Lugia coming out as well, this is kind of a counter to Lugia in the same set. And I'm excited to see where this will go. I will be exploring all of this a lot more as we get more Silver Tempest information, because that's where my mind will be in a month, or like in 3 weeks actually, when I get back from Salt Lake. But I'm leaving soon, so see you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll be gone till October 10th, so you might not get any videos from me. I'm taking my iPad with me, so I might be able to record a video of what happens in Peoria and post it. And let me know in the comments below if you think it'd be kind of funny if I did me sitting on the beach recording a video with my AirPods in kind of thing. I think it'd be funny, but if it's lame, just let me know. But thank you guys for watching. I will be back in 10 days. So see you guys in a bit. Peace.